Alrighty. Just because I've seen everybody else do it, I'm gonna say it too. This is not investment advice. This is just me talking to myself, doing it in front of a monitor. Don't take this stuff as investment advice. It's just my opinion. And yeah, don't sue me. Thank you. Cheers. And the other note for myself is these journal entries are meant to improve myself as a trader. So always keep in mind, I'm talking to myself, that the purpose of this is to enhance my trading, not necessarily for other people. I don't want it to basically influence in me showing on only my good trades, because I don't want to do that. Because I know it goes out to the public, and there may be a time that I'll be impacted, but hopefully not. So, for anybody that's just listening in, YECO is a, a stock that I've been playing or watching for a few days. I am a short bias seller in small cap. I use fundamental to back up my hypothesis, my thesis, and I just short it every single day. Everybody else looks for a different stock. I'm on the same stock, and I recycle the shares instead of having an overnight risk. And I learned that from M-Trades. Big shout out to him, really sick guy. So here, didn't want to pay Vision their fees, so I use CFD, even though they started scamming now. Another day story. So I shorted here at 588. My risk was between 610. So this is something that I gotta work on. I've noticed that I don't really look at the reward. I made this before the video, obviously. I should have taken a partial here. And I was really reviewing it. And this is good because I'm reiterating everything I write. One way I can improve on, even though this is not the greatest average, but I mean, like, technically my stop should be above 605, 610, is if it moved this much down, I should have had a hard stop at break even. I shouldn't care what happens. That's one way I think for sure I can improve, because even though I think my stop was at 610, 635, because it was a smaller size. It was not much it could hurt, but I shouldn't even take that stuff. Like, I should have a stop at 605. I wouldn't mind stopping out here, just because that's the right thing to do. Even though I'm sure there was other stops that got, like, they pushed it up there because they saw stops and they triggered it. But the best thing is to have break even. That's the one thing I concluded. I gotta work on that. And the other thing is, technically I should have taken a partial here. The reason why I didn't is because it was kind of 1-to-1, and I gotta stop thinking like that. I gotta stop thinking like I need 2-to-1 to take a partial, because you know what, the stock doesn't really care what I want. I have to follow the tape, and in my defense, it's just I had 3-4 positions open and it's hard. But okay, this is what it is. Should have had a hard stop here after I reviewed it, but I got out here a tiny little tiny gainer. But I'm still holding some, like, I think again 1/3 of whatever this was. And yeah, graded myself C. I like the fact that I was patient. I wasn't front loading. Yeah, waited for the weakness. Use hard stops. Excuse the swearing, by the way. Protect money, blah blah blah. Also good when it comes to maximum stop loss. Yeah, so one of the other things that I'm doing good here is before I enter a stop, I have like a absolute max stop. So I start with this in case, it goes like midday. If it goes up, I think for this one it was like 655 was the, if it goes above that on daily, then it's like longs, bulls are back in charge. So kind of that was like my really level that I was watching for. But here is just smaller size if it works. Take a partial, come back in, get bigger size, fuller size if I see the range. So this is what this is. Small gainer, but just because it's a green trade doesn't mean I like that it's a good trade. Okay, this is a good one. A lot here. Okay, so this is DXR. I shorted at $9, and if you review a lot of your trades, you will see that there is a pattern. Whoever's pumping up the YECO, AWX, and this company, it's not Guy Gentile, it's somebody else. It's another firm or algorithm or whatever they're using. They definitely have a pattern behavior, and because I reviewed it quite a bit and I've seen it, I could see how they trade. It's like a specific behavior. I guess it's whatever. So what they do is they just get out above 9, they squeeze it above a certain level. Like here the shorts were like, well, if it gets above $9, you know what, or above this 880, 890, I'll get out. So they purposely squeeze it above that, and then they have iceberg orders, and then they refresh it. Long story short, I knew this. I was pretty confident that they were there. They wanted to get rid of their shares and at the squeeze. So it was some long that was trying to get out, and they do this a lot. And specifically when I know they're manipulated, like YECO, AWX, these are low floaters. This has a 700k float. So anyway, took a short there, 8.99, nice. Here on a 1 minute chart, it went a bit above 9, and I was just like, you know what, let me just take a quick partial. And when I was writing this, I was asking myself, is this an error or not an error that I took some off at 885? Looking back, reflecting at it, and not being a guru, not being biased, I think it is. It's not a mistake. It's a good thing. It's always good to take a profit. As somebody always says, nobody has died from taking a partial. So yeah, I took a partial. Originally, I thought it could have been a mistake. Like, why am I covering so fast? But if it goes south, I locked in a little bit of profit, and then I get out for the rest. That's completely fine. So after this, I scaled out. And then as this was happening, I was on a different screen. I was doing fundamental research on it. I looked at the float and all that jazz. It's not a good company by any means. Fundamentals look bad. I had a hard time finding the warrants, etc. But a good friend confirmed that it was a piece of poop company. Basically, it's a piece of crap company, but because the float's so low, I know shorts will be hitting it. So I was actually convinced that this was gonna get squeezed. Like, if it's not gonna get squeezed, I know they were gonna try and squeeze it. So this was the last part here. This is my last cover from $9 to 746, and then I tried a long here. I had a hard stop 748, and yeah, small size, don't care, don't mind, whatever, got stopped out. This was another interesting level. At 7, there was the VWAP was here, and I figured, if this is being manipulated, what are they gonna try and do? They always, again, like, if you've played enough of these, you know what they do. They try to shake out the week long. So what they did is they pushed it below VWAP, and I was expecting that. The VWAP was a 7 and whole number. The push below it I waited until I saw buyers come back, and then I just instantly put an order in. I think I got like 696 or something fill here, close to bottom ticked, but I didn't want a bottom ticket. I have zero intentions of bottom ticking, top ticking, but I should take more descent. But anyway, I only got this entry here because I saw when they push it down, it was being bought up instantly. So got a nice fill here. Sold some at $7.40, sold some at $8 into the strength, which is good, but yeah. And after this, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna leave some and see if I get a proper dip, or if it pushes higher with volume, then I'll go long. And here I saw a bunch of wicks, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be patient with my entry here at $8. I got it. I think my average was like 6, 7. I don't remember, 780 or lower. But I held through this. This was not bad at all. I was up on it. It was a good average. And then this pushed up here with lower volume, and it looked weak, so I just like, you know what? I'm just gonna take it off. It went below. It looked weak, but I don't want to say it's manipulated, but basically this went up with low volume, and I'm holding 1/10 size into tomorrow, just because if this breaks the high of day of 940, the shorts will be hurting really bad. And if I'm wrong, it's a really low risk and reward. Did I do YECO? Let's see. Okay, Solo is the other one. So this is the other stock. It was a really good gainer for me yesterday. Short bias. They had a lot of warrants, so a lot of overhead supply. And I remember NVCN, I missed it. So here, I shorted this because it was a continuation play. I wanted to play the fade. Shorted here because I didn't want to miss out. I mean, I don't really regret this, just because I had enough bullets to take it all the way up to like 450. I had full intentions of risking above 410. Like, this was like half size or 1/3 size, and I was like, you know what? It looked weak here, and I added up again. I don't remember what my average was, but my risk was off of a 410 area. It was pretty painless. I didn't mind even if it went above. But my risk was around 410. 410, 415, I usually give it a few cents above. Came down here. I guess covered 1/4 because nobody ever dies from partially. I don't know who told me that, but yeah. Yeah, this is the other part. I wanted to short here at risking off 4, and I was just like, you know what? I freaking hate vision, man. I hate. Lately, I've just spoiled because I recently started using CFD, but I would say stay away from CFDs. They're taking money without you guys knowing. So the platform shows that your realized gain is X, but when you go to log into the website, the realized gain is much lower. They're calling it the routing fees. CFDs, you're not really routing anything. But that's what they're saying anyway to the people that are like, well, yeah, we're charging extra, and they're not telling you, but they're charging you extra because it's a liquid stock or a low small cap, whatever. So yeah, took 1/4 here. Wanted to add, didn't, because I didn't want to pay for more. And this didn't move up enough, or I didn't cover enough here for me to add. So it's like, in hindsight, it's like, yeah, I should have quote unquote top ticked it because I saw the tape, but not really. No regrets. Like, there's 10-cent difference. Wouldn't have made one. I always enjoy stress-free trade rather than I had one. Here was interesting. This is what I'm kind of proud of. So why am I prouder here than here? I pre-planned, like I know the trigger levels above below 350, because if you zoom out here, 350 was a support. As it broke 350, it should have had a nice wash, but it didn't. So I was like, you know what? I don't like this. It was like, for 5 minutes, it was like staggering around here. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take it off. Took off a large portion here. And then it went up just as I thought it would, because I saw a buyer there holding it. I'm like, why the hell would you hold it? It broke the low a day. But for whatever reason, it came back down, and you know what? Covered some more. So I gave it a decent grade, A minus. My emotions were in check. I knew it was FOMO, but this was part of my trading plan, so no regrets, nothing. Everything was good there. Yeah, reaction level talked about. If it goes parabolic, have hard stops. So yeah, one of my things is every once in a while, like I just freeze. Like sometimes, like I'm sure somebody's been there. Like within a second, it will jump 50 cents. Like it's not that illiquid, but just the supply and demand is off, and it just squeezes really hard. So what I'm saying here, if it's the first day, have hard stops. I mean, yeah. So if I was risking off 410, I think I did do that actually. My risk was 410, but I think I had a hard stop at like for half size or more at 425, even though I would have stopped out here. And then as this trade started working here, I would put a hard stop here, just so I get comfortable, you know, in case I take my eye off, I don't want it to rip. And then if it really works, then of course I go break even or the next stop. Usually break even, but I'm watching. So that's solo. That was good. That was really good. And then this was really good too. I was proud of the short and the long. YECO we talked about. Let's see, DRYS. We didn't talk about this one. Yeah, this was another one that I gotta work on. CFDs shorted here. Risk was around 560. Should have, would have, could have partialed around here, but I didn't, just because I was expecting a bigger move. This here, my trigger level was around 5, and I was a bit greedy. I was like, if it goes below 5, everybody that was in yesterday would have, there's a lot of bag holders or whatever yesterday from 5, so I was like, if it goes below that, it's just going to flush. But looking at the daily doesn't really always go down to the low, so again, how could I improve? I had a massive talk with a friend about this. It's like, well, was this correct? Like, originally I risked off 360s, but it came down. I think I should have had my stop at, if not here, at least break even. I have to protect my capital. I can't. This is definitely avoidable. Like, if this goes all the way down, there's no point in me holding it higher. But a part of me had a hard stop at 350-ish above it. This is like 353 or something. Yeah, 553. Yeah, looking back, I think it's always better. Break even is to me is a beautiful trade. Take something, break even. That's disciplined trading. And then if I felt like I wanted to get back, you know, there's no problem. I'll get back here. I'll lose another. But this shit for sure in the future it'll be break even. I just had a dilemma whether I should have the break above this. You know what? If anybody's watching this and you want to give me your feedback, let me know what you would do. Keep in mind how I trade is this stuff moves really slowly, because it's like day 2, day 3, or day 4 of these stocks that are slowly like dying away. would you have your stop at your entry level, or would you have it where you originally thought? I'm leaning more towards break even, just because you're, break even's break even. It's nice. Yeah, I gave myself F, because I should have partialed. I mean, for sure, I was watching this 100%, and I did contemplate on it. Like, I would have taken a partial around here. Like, this is the level where I would have partialed. And I literally probably had the order and I was about to enter. I was like, nah, be patient. It's like, it's only gonna fade down. Look at this lower highs. Look at this lower high, lower low. What could go wrong, right? Boop, boop, boop. And then I just lost track. Yeah, that's about it. Any feedback, anything constructive, criticism, I'm always open. Thank you.